They're limited and they're cool, but there comes a time maybe in 6 months and you realize, like, why did I buy a bag that looks like a waffle? Like, do I really want this? And then you might go to sell it, and it just so happens that there's not many people interested in buying a waffle bag, and you may lose like $1,000 in that bag. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. I was inspired to make this video because this morning I was watching a video made by Cat L. Hi Cat L, if you're watching, I'll link her channel below. Of course, I'm sure a lot of you guys watch her, but she was discussing how she feels like she no longer tends to gravitate towards buying fun bags. By fun, I think Cat means like the latest trends, things that are not always deemed as classic, you know, these seasonal releases that come out from Louis Vuitton and Dior. And it seems that Cat is more gravitating towards neutral colors, classic Hermes, these bags that tend to hold their value on the resale market, and that it's too risky to invest your money into fun and trendy bags anymore. And I wanted to talk about what my viewpoint on that is. I mean, no disrespect to anyone with my viewpoint. I'm not saying that the way I buy bags is the right way. I think everybody defines luxury in a different way, and yeah, let's talk about it. So in the past, when I started collecting handbags, I definitely had less of a understanding of like different bag styles from over the eras, and you know, as time has gone by, I've researched more about different brands and what bags work for me, what is more practical, and what I find to be worth buying. And when I started out, I bought the latest trendy Gucci bags, maybe a few bags from Saint Laurent. I aspired to buy, Chanel minis, and, a classic flap would have been my dream bag. I noticed that a lot of people on YouTube tend to gravitate towards neutral colors, buying, classic bags like the Neverfull, the Speedy, the Birkin 25, something like a black Chanel classic flap. And sometimes this actually can seem quite boring in my opinion, and I never really wanted to necessarily go down that route, although I feel like those bags hold value the best because neutral colors tend to match easier with your wardrobe. Although I wanted to buy classic bags, I didn't feel like I wanted to buy bags that everybody else had either. So although I think it's good to buy classic bags for sure, they're the most versatile, and if you choose to let them go, you won't lose as much money. Where in these days when prices are so expensive, it does hurt when you buy a bag and you regret it because it's too trendy, and then you sell and you lose thousands of dollars. I mean, that would hurt anyone. And I know that there are a lot of people who obviously buy luxury who have a lot of disposable income, and resale value may not matter to them at all. But the truth is that the majority of people who are buying luxury are not always rich, which, believe it or not, the main demographic of Louis Vuitton is probably middle class people, and they sometimes can get caught up in these trends and these latest collections, the Damier-licious collection or the new Tyler the Creator collection, and they're hot now, they're limited and they're cool, but there comes a time maybe in 6 months and you realize, like, why did I buy a bag that looks like a waffle? Like, do I really want this? And then you might go to sell it, and it just so happens that there's not many people interested in buying a waffle bag, and you may lose like $1,000 in that bag. That does hurt, but does that mean you shouldn't go with the trends and buy the waffle bag because you only live once? Well, I honestly think that when it comes to luxury, in these luxury prices, it's sometimes not worth going and buying the trendy bag because it is a trend, and it's most likely that you're going to get over the trend. For me, I said I didn't always like to buy classic bags, but I found that I like to buy bags that I think I will wear in my everyday life. I definitely have some aspirational bags, so I would say my Birkin 30 is like an example of a bag I don't wear, but like I should wear it. I know, guys, don't scream at me, but it is a very durable bag. It's actually quite wearable. I could even wear it. I'm going to wear it today, guys, because what the hell? Why don't I wear this? But I think because it's a Birkin, it makes me feel like a little bit of a target sometimes, and it makes me feel like I've got a spotlight on me. But guys, at the end of the day, most people don't care about what bag you're wearing, so I think that's just a mental thing with me. But I keep it because it's an aspirational bag. It's a classic bag. It's something that people think will go up in value and all that. So I find it quite difficult to let go, although I don't wear it. And I think that it is nice to have some, like, you know, bags like that, you know, things that you don't wear as often that you love to look at. I guess this bag is not delicate though, so I could technically wear it a lot and it will still, I don't really need to baby a bag like that. But I have had bags in the past, like my Veru bag, which was more delicate. I used to have like a Chanel mini vanity which was wicker. I've had Chanel tweed bags, like, you know, patent leather bags, and these more delicate materials, you know, beaded bags, all that. I don't tend to wear them because, one, they're very delicate, and sometimes they tend to be quite dressy as well. Like my Veru bag was more of an evening bag, and I just don't really have that many occasions to wear bags like that. Like my life, I tend to like stay home on the weekends and just chill, or I'll go out to brunch, or I'll just like hang out with my friend, and I tend to wear like a picotin, which is a very casual bag, still luxury, but you know, something more casual. And these like very dressy bags, which although they are beautiful and gorgeous to look at, like, you know, I'm talking about bags that are with sequins or pearls or, you know, exotic skins also, like these very formal bags, I don't tend to wear them because although they are aspirational pieces, I don't know when to wear them because my life isn't like that fancy. So I don't think it's bad to buy a few bags like this that are more like fun and elaborate. But also I think sometimes people who are not rolling in money might find this quite a waste of money as well, because you just might find that you have all these very special bags sitting on your shelf. And I find like the most joy is when I'm using a bag and I actually find it works for my lifestyle. So although I have some bags like my Birkin or even like this smooth Kelly bag, which is probably a little bit more delicate, I wouldn't wear this when it's raining kind of thing. Although I have a few bags like that, I don't tend to want to gravitate towards buying delicate bags and very special or formal occasion bags. Although I love looking at those beautiful embroidered Lady Dior bags and they're so gorgeous, or I just think like Python, it's something that doesn't age well. I wouldn't wear it. Patent leather Discolor is like, you know, that Vernis collection that Louis Vuitton just did. Very cute in the pastel colors and all that, but I can just see that Vachetta leather getting trashed if I wear it, you know, solidly. The Vachetta leather getting a bit discolored over time. So I know what I am happy to invest into and what I'm not. And I tend to like to buy leathers that I think will wear better, and even if they do get some wear and tear, they actually age gracefully. So I find that that's why I like Hermes bags, because they tend to, even though they sag, they might get scratched up, they still have this really cool character to them, which I think looks even better when time goes by. But there are some brands that I feel like age very badly, like Chanel bags. I don't think Chanel bags age that well, particularly the new ones, you know, the iridescent coming off, the hardware chipping, like, I don't know, trashed Chanel bags don't look good to me, but for some reason trashed Hermes looks better. Maybe it's because Hermes bags tend to be a little bit more casual, and I mean, that whole trash Birkin look is back in fashion, so it could be something to do with that. Like Gucci bags, like, you know, like the Gucci Marmont, like the velvet one, like that trash looks bad, and like things like that I tend to steer away from. Now when it comes to trends, I think that colors can come in and out of fashion, and I'm not somebody who necessarily only goes for classic colors, because like if I was going to stick to classic colors, for example, I know Lydia Elise Millen, I did a video on her recently talking about the way she buys bags and her current collection, and she's somebody who definitely gravitates towards classic colors. So she mentioned that from Hermes she'll only get, you know, classic colors like gold, rouge H, black, maybe you know, fauve or something like that, more of those earthy tones that are signature of Hermes. But for me, I love colors, and although, you know, pastel green is trending this season, if I was offered a Vert Fizz bag, I would go for it, because I really like changing up the colors with my outfits, and I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily only wear neutral color palettes. That's not my style. I like to express myself through colors. So although, like, I'm not actually bothered with wearing bags that are out of fashion, I don't really mind about that when it comes to colors, but when it comes to silhouettes and just the overall collection, I don't love buying bags that are too trendy. Like, for example, a lot of brands are doing like that croissant style bag at the moment, which is really cool. It's very like Y2K. Like I'm a millennial. I went through the Y2K period, and although I love Y2K fashion in a way, it's something that I wouldn't necessarily I have worn it a little bit, but it's something that like I wouldn't invest heavily into. I think if I was going to go for that Y2K aesthetic, maybe I'd go for a more of a contemporary bag. Like for example, pick up like a cute little shoulder bag from Kate Spade or something, but I wouldn't necessarily pay Chanel money or Louis Vuitton money to pick up like a Y2K looking bag. If I was to do that, I'd probably go for like vintage, like I'd go for Murakami or something that is like from that era. I'm more into buying pre-loved or like something from that era, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm also a bit annoyed how brands are constantly just like redoing their old collections. Like although I did like the Louis Vuitton denim collection, you know, from back in the day, I do in a way think it's a little bit like a watered down version of what they used to do. I really wish that brands would do like bags that haven't been done before, things that are a bit more innovative. And I have seen that a little bit with Pharrell's new collection. Like, you know, he designed this bag that looked a bit like an iron. And although at first I was like, that's weird, never seen anything like that before, I think it's good that he's pushing boundaries. And I think more brands should do this and experiment with different silhouettes and innovate a little bit more, because although people say like you should buy classics and you should invest in things that you'll wear a lot, I agree. I think that there is room for like developing and going with like the current times, and a lot of these classic bags as well are just not actually practical for the current day. Like, you know, the Chanel classic flap, it doesn't crossbody always, the double flaps, it's not practical. So is it something we should invest in just because of the resale value is maybe better than like a Chanel seasonal bag? Yeah, I don't know, guys. Also a Birkin, it's not that practical for day to day. I mean, it doesn't have a crossbody strap. Like opening and closing that is a nightmare. It's just not practical. But I think as bag collectors, we think we need to buy the bags that hold the value and are classics. But I don't think it's always the case. I think there's a bit of a fine line and you have to have a little bit of a balance. I think it's cool to buy bags. Like, for example, this Telfar bag I bought, it's a bit more of a modern day bag, I suppose. Telfar as a brand is a newer brand as opposed to like, you know, Louis Vuitton and Chanel and all that. But I liked the simplicity of it. I thought I liked the marketing idea behind it. They're trying to create hype for this bag and all that. And I did think it was a really cute bag. So that's why I bought it, and it wasn't as expensive as a designer bag. But yeah, it's cool to look at like up and coming brands as well, and brands that are doing something a little bit different, and not to always invest into the safe bags. Although I do have a lot of, I would say, safe bags. Like for example, this black Evelyn, I would say is pretty safe. Or like even like a black Kelly in a way is quite safe. I find that you also have to stick to your own style. I don't like, as I said, buying things that are too delicate unless it's within a certain price point. So if I'm going to buy like an evening bag, I'll probably buy it from Furla or Kate Spade, or even at the thrift store, I'll buy like a nice beaded clutch or a glow mesh bag or something. That's just how I feel. And I found that for me, Hermes are bags that they're very casual and they're very easy to wear for every day. They're quite durable, and I love their after sales service as well. They're able to restore your old bags, whether they're 50 years old or 2 years old. I love that service as well. So yeah, that's how I buy bags these days. I don't always go for the latest trends unless I think if I'm really into a trend, I would buy a contemporary version of it first, or a cheaper version before I invest fully into it. There are a few Hermes bags that I'm tempted to buy right now, guys, but I wouldn't say that some of them are actually newer designs. Like for example, the In the Loop belt bag. I quite like that bag. Or, you know, there's a new Kelly crossbody bag that is so cute with the pocket. I really like that too because I love the look of the Kelly. And there are more modern day bags that I'm tempted to buy. Are they trendy? Would they hold value as much as a Birkin 25? Probably not, but yeah, you just have to start to like get to know yourself and what you're gonna wear. And I know that I'm a casual dresser, and like I like Hermes bags, and I think they do the best colors, so that's what I tend to gravitate towards. But let me know, guys, are you somebody who is really sick of like investing into these classic bags? Or are you the opposite? Do you love going for just neutrals and things that are completely timeless? Yeah, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!